Hello, friends, and happy Friday. I think that I kind of like these Friday reads, kind of chatty things, so I'm going to try it again. I have about a half an hour until I need to leave for work, so I just wanted to let you know how my year has been going so far. We're a little over a week into January and into 2020. And of course, like everybody else, I set a lot of goals. Um, but just a few of them are I'm trying to do some form of a miracle morning. If you've ever heard of that, you're supposed to sit in silence. Visualizations and affirmations, which I'll be honest, I'm not doing. That's a little too woo woo for me. and um, and you're supposed to read and write. So basically, all I'm doing is trying to read for like 15 minutes in the morning, whether that is a Bible reading or a devotional, or whether that is like one of the books that I'm like a fiction book that I'm reading. And then also, I do a little bit of morning journaling. And if I don't do it in the morning, I have been trying to do it in the evening. And that's been going fairly well. I haven't. Oh, you're also supposed to exercise, which so far I have not done in the morning. So, to be honest with you, most of this stuff gets done in the evening after work. So it's probably more like a miracle evening. But whatever. At least it's getting done. That's my motto at this point in life. um, I've also and the exercise that I've been doing has been yoga with Adrienne. And I guess at the beginning of every year she does a 30-day program. And this one is called Home. And I've actually done pretty well. I've missed a couple of days. Actually, this morning, and well, probably today, I'm going to miss it and maybe have to double up over the weekend at some point, just to make sure I'm doing all 30 days. But I have a lot going on today, so I don't think I'm going to get to it today. But overall, I'm really happy with my progress in that. I'm happy that I've been keeping up with that because yoga is really never been my thing. I find it boring and kind of difficult. So, but yeah, I've been really enjoying it this time around, which is weird. And I can already feel it helping. So, win-win. And that's what it's supposed to do, right? But what you're here for is the reading, right? So let me talk to you about what I have been reading since January 1st. And okay, so if my camera's being really shaky today, guys, I'm sorry. But anyway, the number one thing that I have been reading so far this month is War and Peace by Leo Tolstoy. And I have gotten through part 1 of volume 1, and there are 3 parts to volume 1. So my goal is to read volume 1 by the 15th of January. So, and I'm on track. I kind of split up the amount of pages I would need to read, and so far I've stayed on track. We'll see if I get anything read today at work because I will be the only secretary there. So depending on how busy it is, I may not get much read of this because not that I sit there and read physical books at work, but sometimes, if it's not busy and there's not a lot of, noise going on, I can listen to an audiobook. And I've been supplementing my physical reading of this book with an audiobook because there's a lot of French in this and I find it easier to listen to somebody else just say the French parts in English, which the narrator I found does. he doesn't like get bogged down in the French. So, um, so yeah, this is going well so far, but I'm going to have a specific discussion slash vlog on the 15th for volume 1 of this, so I won't talk about this anymore. The next book that I finished in the first week is The Hobbit by Tolkien. And I read this with Amanda from her Pacific Northwest Washington life. I'll leave her channel down below. She's really sweet, and it was really fun to reread this with her. I think this was a reread for her too. I was specifically reading this for Krista from Books and Jams and Sarah from Sarah's Nightstand read along of the entire Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit series for the first half of the year. So this was our first one. And we both, Amanda and I, read this via audiobook and kind of followed along. I'm finding so far this year that is kind of my preferred way to read, is kind of dip back from audiobook to a physical book as much as I can. So it's just been easier to keep my extensive TBR going. But anyway, this was just a really great way to start the year. I love the Lord of the Rings series, and I really think that The Hobbit is my favorite of all 4 of the books. I know that's probably kind of weird, but I just love how playful this is while still going through the hard journey stuff and kind of having the lessons learned that Bilbo learns in all of this, and how is kind of coming of age. So in some ways, like, he learns a lot about himself, and it's kind of the typical Lord of the Rings journey thing, and it's a journey to learn about yourself and an actual physical journey, and yeah, I love it a lot. The next book I finished was for another read-along, and that was Anne of Green Gables by, I always want to say Maud Hart Lovelace, because I spent so many months going through the Betsy Tacy series last year. But no, Lucy Maud Montgomery. That's going to be a struggle for this entire series. I'm just going to guarantee you that's going to happen. But this was another wonderful reread for me. This is part of the Anne-along 2020 that Tia from Tia and All the Books and Amanda from The Curly Reader are hosting. And this is the only book in the series I feel like I've ever read. And so I'm really looking forward to getting on to the rest of the books, but this was just a lovely little way to get into the series again. I think I actually read this at some point last year, or maybe 2018, I don't remember, for maybe the first time. And so I remembered a lot of things about this book, and I almost spoiled something for Tia because this was her first time reading, and I was talking to her, and I almost said something, and I'm like, wait, are you the one that's never read this before? And I stopped myself, thankfully. But yes, if you've never read The Anne of Green Gables and you just need something just delightful to read, go for this. And the last book that I finally finished in January, just yesterday actually, was the first in the Maisie Dobbs series by Jacqueline Winspear. I don't know why this took me so long to read. It's less than 300 pages. I started this for Cloak and Dagger Christmas as part of my book advent, and it's really beautifully written. The story was great, but it's really sad. I will just warn you about this. It's from the takes place in like the aftermath of World War I, which is really an interesting time period that I don't read much about. But it went into flashbacks, and there's just a lot of grief in this time period and in this book. And I kind of wasn't expecting it. I don't know why. I had heard a lot of people talk about this series, and I thought, oh, that sounds really good. It's like a historical fiction, cozy mystery. No. I mean, it's not light. And I don't know, it has a lot of cozy elements to it if you are a cozy mystery fan. It does have cozy elements to it, but I would not classify it as a cozy mystery series. It was definitely dense as far as the grief and the memories of World War I and just what happened to people. So yeah, I loved it. I gave it 4 stars, but I'm gonna have to read this series slowly and in conjunction with a lot of lighter reads, because woo, man, it was heavy. So those are the things that I have been reading so far. And so the only other things I have to read that's on my TBR for this month are, let me reach, Little Men, which I've started, and this is by Louisa May Alcott, and this is for another read-along, the Louisa May 2020, that we've already started. We started it back in November, but this is the sequel, I guess, to Little Women, so which we read in December. So I started it yesterday, only got about 10 pages in, but I'm really captivated by it already. It sounds great. It follows Jo March and her husband, and kind of what they've gotten up to after they got married and in the aftermath of Little Women. So I don't really want to go into too much more than that yet because I'm only 10 pages in. So, but so far, even the first 10 pages gripped me. So I'm excited. And then I have not started this yet, but it's coming. I plan to start this today, actually. And if you saw my January TBR, you know that I said that I am a little bit nervous about this book. I really loved the first book I read by Frederick Bachman, A Man Called Uve. I really loved it, and I really think that I will love Frederick Bachman's writing, and everybody that's read this has loved it, but the subject matter scares me. So, but my In Real Life book club is reading this this month, and so I was like, I'm gonna do it. and I found an audiobook version on Scribd, so if I get a chance, I might start listening to that today if I can't physically read it. So, but like I said, I like to have the physical books to kind of see where I am in the page count. So, so yeah, that's on the docket too. And then the last book, which I haven't started yet, and I probably should because it is like 831 pages, is Romola by George Eliot. And that is a read-along that Kate Howe is doing throughout the year. She's doing Victorian literature throughout the whole year, which is amazing, and I haven't been able to do any of them yet. She started this in 2019, and I have not gotten to any of them yet. So I would really like to get to Romola. But, so hopefully if these other 2 books are fairly quick, then I can get to it and still have a good 2 weeks. And I'm going to have to listen to it on audiobook because I can't find it at my library. They have 1 copy and it's in like the special collections. So that kind of worries me that I don't really want to take that out from the library. So, but yeah, but I think audiobook will be the way to go for that one anyway. Since it's so long, I tend to get through books a lot faster on audiobook. So, so yeah, we'll see what order those last 3 books come in. But I am 3 books already into the year. Granted, they were short books, but still, I'm 3 books into my 75 book Goodreads goal, and I'm doing yoga, and I'm keeping up with my War and Peace read along, which, ooh, by the way, I was excited because Tara from Buzzword Books, I think is her channel. I will link it below. She is a really fun booktuber that does reading vlogs, and she posted about my little read along of War and Peace in her January TBR. So I messaged her and I was like, oh, do you want to kind of buddy read this? So, like, to hold each other accountable? Because, like, I get a couple of sporadic people saying that they're going to join me, but it wasn't enough to, like, warrant making this a big read along. So, like, I feel like I need a buddy reader, you know. So we have been connecting the last few days, and she just started it, so she's behind me, but it's still really fun to kind of talk about the overall story and kind of ask each other questions and, you know, kind of Google the answers if we don't know. So it's been really fun. But so anyway, that's all for today. It's all for Friday. I need to edit this and get it out. So I'm going to stop talking now. And I need to go to work, I guess. That, you know, that'd probably be a good thing to do. All right. I will talk to you later, friends. I hope you have a great weekend. And, ooh, I'm going to see the Little Women movie this weekend. So, yay. I will talk about that in my next Friday reads. So, I'm excited. All right. I'll talk to you later, friends. Bye.